Hello, and welcome to ShamrockED, conversations with the Berrien Springs Public School Superintendent, Dr. Thomas Bruce. In this podcast, we'll explore Mars Elementary's kindergarten and preschool programs, giving our families an inside look at what it means to be part of the Shamrock community. Through conversations with our principal and teachers, we'll highlight the learning experiences, caring environment, and the strong foundation our program provides for our young learners. Whether you're a prospective family or a community member, this episode will showcase how we support each child's growth and success the Shamrock Way. Today's guests include Mars Elementary Principal Jake Skelly, kindergarten teacher Emily Iott, and GSRP preschool teachers Carmen, Sherman, and Jennifer Wallace. And now, here's Berrien Springs Public School Superintendent, Dr. Thomas Bruce.
So the podcast title today is really good. I like this one a lot. Growing Strong, Kindergarten and GSRP programs at Mars Elementary. And I'd like to say our Mars Elementary team's growing strong right now too. I'm really excited for this group. We have 5 people at our table today. So we're gonna have a really great conversation. Let's just go around the table. I'll start on my right. Introduce yourself and what do you do there and why do you love Mars? I'm gonna go for 3 things. Introduce yourself, what do you do there, and what do you love about Mars?
Well, I am Jake Skelly, and I'm the principal at Mars Elementary. And I love the little guys. I love the smiles and the hugs. You just can't stay mad too long at Mars because the next thing you know, they're giving you hugs, right? So I love it. It's awesome. And I love to see them grow so quickly.
Yep. I used to say my favorite thing to do if I was having a bad day in an elementary school, just go to kindergarten or TK for the day or even an hour and you're good. Your day's made. Let's go next.
I'm Emily Iott. I'm kindergarten teacher at Mars. What I love most about Mars is it truly is a family. Staff, I started 3 years ago and was welcomed immediately. And also the kids in the classroom, that family feel.
Thank you. Next.
My name is Carmen Sherman, and I teach GSRP preschool at Mars. And I just have to piggyback on what everybody else is saying. I just love the kids. I love the growth in preschool. I love teaching.
Thank you. And finally, last but not least.
All right. My name is Jennifer Wallace. I am GSRP teacher at Mars. And what I love is just the diversity that Mars offers and the caring environment.
All right. Thank you all. Appreciate it. So what makes our kindergarten and preschool programs unique at Berrien Springs? And I'm going to start, we did a short video the other day. You know, Gail Fox gets around our place a lot. And we were filming on the Shamrock Way. And one of the things they asked about is, what is the Shamrock Way to you? And that word unique was the word I used. We are unique. So jumping off from that, what makes us unique? And anyone on the panel can answer that.
I would say like housing the, GSRP building in our school. And so we get to know those students. And we do offer ProFives, which is a great transition into kindergarten. And we also have lots of support adults in the school that can really make those connections with kids and help out with academics, behaviors, anything that's needed.
Yeah, I think our adult to student ratio is actually really good, especially at Mars. Do you know that off the top of your head, Jake? Or would you hazard to guess right now?
I would say 1 to 15,
Yeah.
1 to 12, 1 to 12, 1 to 15 being on the high side.
I would agree. Anything else that makes us unique, our kindergarten or preschool programs unique here at Berrien Springs?
So I'm going to chime in and I'm just going to say, again, going to that diversity and all the different cultures that come into the building, and then having the ability to have preschool right there, part of what we're teaching students. It's really preparing them for school, but also preparing them for life. And it sort of, we have our own culture, right? We have our own culture that engulfs everyone and sort of puts it all together in our school. And it really creates that foundation for the Shamrock Way as far as what we're looking for a district.
I like that. I also want to jump in. Something I noticed when I came to Berrien Springs, Emily, you mentioned that we have that GSRP program right in our building. In most school districts, you would come in and you'd have a kindergarten student go to kindergarten and then first grade. Some districts will have a TK or a pre-K or a ProFive, we call it. In Berrien Springs, we have the GSRP for early kids. We have ProFive coming up next, depending on where you are developmentally and by age, I assume. And then we have kindergarten. And then we have first grade. So we really have this beautiful on-ramp into first grade with our students if it's appropriate for them. So I think that's an outstanding on-ramp, right, for success. Let's get down to kindergarten and preschool experience. And this is really for the teachers, Jake. What does a typical day in kindergarten and or preschool look like? So we'll have some new parents this year, right? And their first babies coming to school. It's always a little bit scary, a little bit exciting. What would they expect in their first day of kindergarten or preschool?
We really, like you said, it's an on-ramp. So we are building partnerships with families. We are teaching kids essentially how to do school. Yes, we have all of the appropriate academics going on. We have literacy and math, but really it's the first school experience. So we're building the relationships with families and students. We're teaching them school expectations, even just like standing in a line and how to wait your turn and purposeful play. And it really is just an introduction to school and receiving directions and receiving information from outside of the household. It's just a foundation of getting that school experience started, the on-ramp, developing those relationships with families and the kids.
Great thought. And I think we actually move really fast in our curriculum these days. It's not like when I went to school, go play with blocks for an hour and a half, right? Mm-hmm. And so we have to have those pieces. So there's a cadence to what we do and some efficiency in our time, I guess I'd say. So I've always been amazed at watching great elementary teachers, and specifically in that TK and K, because to have that many students move through a day the way they do is incredible work. So thank you. What about kindergarten? What does that look like?
Yeah, so piggybacking off that, it makes a world of difference if students have that experience before they come to kindergarten. Mm-hmm. If they know how to do school, how to sit on the carpet, how to get in line, how to ask for the bathroom, it makes the transition a lot easier. So even if GSRP is not an option, even going on play dates and, family get-togethers to get around other kids and see that reaction. In kindergarten, we do, like Dr. Bruce was saying, it's different. 15 years ago, it was half day. It was, I know my name, I know my colors, I know my shapes. Now we are expecting a lot from kindergartners. So we are asking them pretty much to know most of their letters and sounds as they enter kindergarten, which is different from what parents experienced when they went to kindergarten. Most of our day is pretty academic. We have a snack time. We do not have a rest time in kindergarten. So a lot of it is letters and sounds, and then we're learning sight words. They're writing complete sentences with spaces.
Wow.
They're counting to 100.
Reading.
They're reading. They're doing a lot.
Yeah.
So if they come in with that base, that foundation, it makes it incredibly more successful.
And I'm sure you can see the difference in the students that were not getting any socialization or schoolwork ahead of time, right?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
You can tell, okay, they've been to school. Okay, they've, have not been to school or daycare. So,
and this goes back to my earlier thought on, we have a tremendous on-ramp here if parents will take advantage of it. And I'll tell you right now from my own research, students that do well in math concepts in first grade, 6 years old, there's a direct correlation to how well they do in Algebra 1, which is a difficult course at ninth grade normally, right? So the work you guys do is actually a great foundational piece. And this podcast for me is to reach out to parents and say, have your students involved. If they're not involved with us here, get them involved in other things because it'll make them that much more successful.
There's also a very strong correlation to having letter identification and sounds at the end of preschool to overall school success in second grade. So if they can have a little bit of extra time or some time with preschool with us to kind of front load those alphabet sounds and concepts, it's just a head start.
Yeah,
A good foundation.
Yes.
Agreed. So we have 3 strategies here at Berrien Springs that we've been using the last couple of years, which was attendance. We want our kids here every day. They can't learn if they're not here. Achievement, we believe if they're here, their achievement will go up. And then finally, engagement, which is we want it to be engaging for them. It's not just a preach and teach kind of thing, right? So my second question goes back to that engaging piece. How do we create engaging environments for our youngest Shamrocks? How do you do that? I always say when they first come in the fall, they're not far away from a little woodland creature sometimes, right? They'll bite and kick and everything before they'll use their words sometimes.
We say it's like herding kittens.
Oh,
baby
yeah,
kittens.
absolutely. Absolutely. So how do you make it engaging then? How do you do that with a room full of little kids?
Well, in preschool, we really just kind of frame it so they don't really know they're learning. Hey, do you want to come do this and play this game? I mean, it's very play focused in the beginning, and they do have 60 minutes of choice time in preschool to navigate interest areas and create their own play.
Nice.
So we try to just make it engaging, make school fun, kind of really just set the tone for a positive approach to learning in the future. Because if they have a positive approach to learning, they will have that engagement. They will have the success. They will have the drive forward. So we really just try to make learning fun.
Yeah.
And our curriculum really sets us up to do that as well.
That's good to hear. Sometimes the curriculum pushes back on that kind of thing, right? So that's really great to hear.
For kindergarten, the first month of school, we really try to focus on building the relationships with the teachers and the kids, and then also having the students build relationships with each other. We do a lot of morning meetings where they get to learn about each other.
Do they still call it rug time?
No.
Not so much. Wow, that went away too, huh?
We are on the rug the majority of the day
course.
for instruction, but
All right.
yep. And then just all that interaction and getting to know the students. And similar, we have, different choices, and we try to make it fun for the students and introduce that as much as we can and get them interacting with each other. And like I said, have that family feel, like no matter who they're with, they're with that person and that's their friend. And
Yep.
a student said yesterday, I have 2 homes. I have here in my house. So
Good.
that was really sweet.
Can you share a story of when you saw a student's excitement for learning really take off?
I still have like a favorite memory as a teacher of when a family was on spring break, and I don't remember where they were at, but there were letters, like the alphabet letters all over the floor. And they took a video of this little boy like identifying the letters, singing the song that we do in class with the letters and the sounds. And they
Right
just thought that
on.
was so cool to see. And he was just lit up to see that this connection happened outside of the classroom that he was able to make. So
Yep. That's great. That's great. Anything else?
I had a student, rhyming is a big thing in kindergarten. And so he was struggling, and then all of a sudden, we have a little game matching the rhyming pieces, and he was excited because he completed the whole thing. So he was saying all the rhyming words, excited, we celebrated. So
Yeah, that goes right into spelling and recognizing words and making them great readers.
yes, and as much as you can read at home with the kids so they can hear that vocabulary and
Yes.
recognize those rhyming words.
Absolutely. I'm gonna put an emphasis on that. Please read to your student. Have them try and read to you. Picture books are fine. Just language, right? How do these early learning experiences set the foundation for future success? So we talked about this is a great on-ramp. We have 3 years that we can really get these kids going if possible. How does it set them up for success? We started to talk about that a little bit, but what do you guys see as teachers there?
I agree that we do have the opportunity to set them up for success, and we do see that. We see some of their personalities that are in preschool, and they're the same kid in second grade that we recognize in the hallway. But like Emily was saying, we also can tell the successful students who are given those experiences, who have that foundation. So it's great being in the same building and having an early childhood building and seeing the kids in the future.
Yeah,
That's
good to
really
hear.
great.
Good to hear.
Yeah, the foundation I think is the biggest thing. If they have that preschool experience and they have that base knowledge, and then in kindergarten we're asking them to build on that and sight words and reading, and so they're not having to go back and spend most of the time learning. They can come and move forward. First grade, they're going to go a little bit more in depth. Second grade, even more. So we don't want to have those gaps where they're not knowing what to do necessarily with what's being asked for them. So
Right.
I think a bunch of resources should be poured into early L, because that sets the foundation for success.
I totally agree. And I've seen it.
The other thing I would add is that you throw ProFives in there, right?
Yes.
So if you do have a student that maybe doesn't meet the requirements for age for preschool, is already above that, but not quite ready for kindergarten, we offer ProFives. That's that in between that still gives a social emotional aspect to school, still learning some of the things that you would in preschool, still has nap time, but starts getting them towards that academic focus and gives them the gift of time to be ready for kindergarten.
And it really is a gift. I think that preschool
Yeah.
and ProFives is just that gift of time. If they can do both programs or they need to do both programs, great. If they don't, if they, like Jake said, if they don't qualify, then great. We do offer that ProFives. And I think it is just a gift that if your child is placed there or you're thinking about it, really consider it a gift.
And it is a positive. The kids have to grow up so fast now. So to give them that gift of a little bit more play, they learn so much through play.
Yeah.
You know, to give them that time to get that foundation and not thrown into academics.
Right on. I like that thought a lot. You mentioned nap time. I think I got an A in that class, that portion
Me too.
class. Yeah. I want to move over to you, Jake, as newer principal over there at Mars. Being part of the Shamrock family, we often discuss the Shamrock Way. We actually talked a little bit about that earlier. What does it mean in kindergarten or preschool, the Shamrock Way?
Well, I think it's kind of starting that foundation as early as we can, because we have students coming from really all over the world with different cultures. We have our own culture, so that we believe will help them in life and help them at Sylvester and wherever they go on with their life. So it kind of comes down to that vision, inspiring all students, right? To learn, if they know the Rock's values in the Shamrock Way when they leave us and move on, we feel if they apply those, they're going to be successful no matter what they do or where they go. So that's what it means for us is we believe in our vision, we believe in our mission. Our kids know it, and the goal is for them to learn it and live it at that age.
It almost goes back to everything I needed to know I learned in kindergarten, doesn't it?
It
Remember
sure
that
does.
poster?
I believe that's a book.
It's probably a book, poster.
Yes.
Yeah, lessons in life. Thank you for that. I want to go back to the teachers. They're really the superstars here today. What roles do families play? So again, maybe you have some new parents coming in with their brand new baby coming to kindergarten or Pro-5. What role do you want them to play? What role should they play? Like, I really want my student to do well, love them to be the top of the class, hopefully. Like, what do I have to do to make sure you know that I'm engaged and I'm doing the best I can for my student? What does that look like?
Families, parents, they're the number one, right? That's the student's number one. So even just spending quality time with your kids at home, doing things together, reading, talking, having that vocabulary, even simple things like putting on a coat by yourself, things that you wouldn't think, but that they can do independently, hanging up our stuff,
And they're really proud of themselves when they can do that, right?
Yes.
When they can do those things and maybe their peer can't, they feel like, oh, they almost want to beat their chest how proud they are.
Yes, we have a coat club this year.
Oh.
All the kids that can zip their coat.
Awesome.
And then
That's
just
good.
another quick thing is just lunchtime. The kids have just a certain amount of time of lunch. So even pack them a lunch before school even starts and see, like, can they open all the things in the lunch by themselves? Can
Yeah.
they eat, within that 20 minutes? And
What a great
those
idea.
simple things.
So I remember, you know this, Jake, because you used to be a middle school principal as well. But in 5th grade, I used to have padlocks on my desk and have the 5th graders at the end of the year try and work a padlock because they had to do it in 6th grade, right?
Yes.
So your thought of, hey, here's your packed lunch. Let's see if you can eat it, kid. What a great idea, right? Because otherwise you're running around to 15 different kids or better trying to open their lunches and help them eat. So great thought. Anything else?
For preschool, like our biggest thing is parent engagement, parent involvement. Before preschoolers even start, we offer like home visits. So we connect
Nice.
with families. We come see them in their home environment. We have multiple touches throughout the year where we connect with them. We offer family engagement opportunities for families throughout the year.
Outstanding.
So families are definitely
What do
at
the
the
family
forefront.
engagements look like?
So around Thanksgiving, we usually do a preschool family feast where we join together the preschool classrooms and the families share a dish from their culture or special to their family. And we come together and we do a little song and just get together and kind of celebrate the families and their involvement. Like Jennifer said, we offer a parent advisory meeting in the spring so that parents can come ask questions about transitioning to ProFives or to kindergarten and
Wonderful.
share their experience in preschool. It's definitely a highlight of our program is parental involvement. So we offer many opportunities for them to come into the classroom, field trips and engagement events like that.
So my girls are now 25 and 28 years old. I say I have old girls, right? We are still friends with the preschool families that they grew up with. There's 8 different families. There's 28 kids when they're all together, and they're all super tight and still best of friends. So these relationships they're creating at this age are long lasting,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So, and one other thing that I recognize as an elementary principal was the more that I had families engaged in that K2 grade, the more they stuck with us through 12th grade. Families were more engaged that whole time. So you guys really do some great work for us at that level.
And students in GSRP that Mars isn't their home district, they want to come, they want to stay.
Great.
That says something.
Well, we'll
pretty good.
take that every time, right? Love that. Thank you. Traditions, special events. So we talked a little bit about engagements. I love the home visit idea. That's a great way to customize for that student, I believe. Anything else that's like a tradition that you guys have in those 3 grade levels or at Mars specifically?
Kindergarten, we usually do 2 field trips a year. So in the fall, we'll go to Stover's.
All right.
And in the spring, we'll go to the zoo,
Yeah.
which is always fun. And then also, all of Mars does Class Dojo,
Oh, yeah.
which is a great messaging system. And they post pictures so you can see your kids during the day, message
wonderful
your
idea.
teacher. It's just a great communication tool between parent and teacher.
Wonderful idea. Love that. Especially for the newer parents I keep bringing up, right? Like, how's my baby doing?
Yes, and the teacher
you
can
find
snap
out or
a
see
quick
a picture.
picture.
Yes. What a great idea. Anything else on that topic?
Ours is similar. The field trips, we offer 2 field trips. We each have our own like preschool pages where we stay connected with families and add pictures and things like that so they can see what their child's doing.
Nice.
Then we have our graduation at the end of preschool. We have a little ceremony that we hold every year.
Which is basically like another engagement event. Come celebrate the successes. We bring all the families together, share a meal, sing a song. And we usually have a pretty good turnout for that.
Wonderful. Thank you for doing all that. Because I don't know if parents know that or our community knows it. That's all extra time for you guys. And planning those events, because you're planning for students and the community coming in, it's a big deal. So thank you for all you do with that stuff. I want to move on towards the end. We're coming up to our kindergarten roundup really soon. And maybe this is the reason for this podcast, right? To make sure that people hear about it. Let me ask you a really good question. This is for the whole panel, Jake, so you can take part 2 if you want, all right? Here we go. So why should families choose Berrien Springs for their child's early education? Parents have options these days. They can do a lot of different things. Why would you choose to come to Berrien?
I think that we offer high quality. I mean, we have an experienced teaching team in preschool and in kindergarten. We offer a GSRP program that's countywide, but we are a high quality district. It is well known within the GSRP teaching community that we are a high quality site. And I think we really offer that foundation.
Outstanding. Thank you. Anything else?
Just in general, like that family atmosphere is big in Mars, and it's just the best. It's the best place to be. Like,
you know what? We'll just stick with that.
Yeah. The diversity again is great. When I started in the district, that's one of the things I love the most about the district. And we have ESL program that helps with those students, and they just grow and blossom. Our families are great. It's the best place to be.
Outstanding.
So I would say it's the uniqueness. My wife and I decided to come to Berrien because you cannot find this anywhere else. We've been in many other districts, and there's nothing like it here, both as parents, as teachers, as administrators, and for our kids. We brought our kids here because of what it offers, because we feel it prepares our kids for the world like you can't find anywhere else.
Yeah, the uniqueness. We just offer a variety of programs that I feel like a lot of other districts don't have all 3 of these programs to find the right need or fit for each child.
Right.
As well as just supports. Like we have a lot of instructional coaches and support teams to help the kids, more than I've had in any other district that I've worked in. So, I mean, it's just amazing.
Let me riff off from that for just a second, Jake, and I'm going to go to you. We've talked about supports, and right in the beginning, I asked you to guess, like adults to students. Talk about, so this is a K2 building with a Pro5 and a GSRP. Relatively smaller building because it is, just lower L. But tell us a little bit about how many people, like leadership in the office, how many supports do you have for classrooms, whether it's parapros or others, social workers? What does it look like at Mars? So parents can actually understand when we say there's supports there and we have that ability to do that, what does that mean or what does it actually look like?
Well, starting in the office, we have myself, principal. We have an assistant principal, which most elementary schools, I would say, may have a dean of students if they're lucky. We also have a PBIS director who have 2 full-time paraprofessionals that work alongside of them.
And PBIS for our families that don't know.
It's positive behavior interventions and supports. So helping with that social emotional piece, helping with the cultural aspect and learning differences in cultures. And that behavior piece, just learning how to do school. It's just a lot different from the way it may be at home, right? And so just learning that piece. Not only that, but we have full-time curriculum coach who helps us, which is new this year. And we completely restructured our title program that now really encompasses 4, I would say, highly qualified teachers that help support academically, specifically in reading and in math.
In addition to your classroom teachers.
In addition to our classroom teachers.
And Title I, would you say that's temporary academic support for students that need a little boost here and there?
That's exactly what it is. So it's those students that just aren't quite getting it. And we call that, if they need extra time, that's tier 2. And that really title helps support that. In the past, we haven't had as much support there. Now we do, and we're already seeing the growth there academically. So we're really trying to hit things from all over, from the academic side, from the behavioral side, and not to mention, I think for the first time ever, just so everyone knows, currently we have 2 preschool classes, we have 2 ProFives classrooms, and we have 5 kindergarten classrooms. And now, for the first time ever, every single one of those classes have their own paraprofessional that's in those classes to assist the teacher and the students in whatever they need full time. So it's just a tremendous amount of support with what our students need.
So when I was an elementary principal, I was the only one to kind of help go in just so teachers could use a restroom, right? So this is a big deal, you know?
And in every single one of those classes that I just described, they all have their own restrooms. Inside the classroom. That's very unique.
Very unique,
I've never
yeah.
seen that before.
But very important.
Very important as well.
And you all have nice rugs for rug time,
Yes.
right? Okay, good.
And mats for rest time.
All right, so I want to get to the big point right here. Kindergarten Roundup is coming on March 11th. What do our parents need to know about this event?
Just bring your kids.
That's all I have
Please
to do?
come. Yes.
All right. Should I bring anything with them? Do you need to see their dental records or anything like that?
So for GSRP, we are an income-based program. So we
Okay.
do need you to just show up, come anytime during that open window, 5 to 8, but bringing proof of income so we can just check eligibility and make sure that you qualify. But our income guidelines are pretty significant. So we encourage everyone to come and just check and see.
Good. That's actually a great idea. Just come and check.
Yep.
Because you can't maybe look it up on Google. We might have a way to have you in the program when you don't think you can be.
Right. Even if you don't think you're going to qualify, you most likely will. It's a very large range of qualification.
Great.
So it's just a step in the qualifying process, but many families qualify even if they think they don't.
Yeah. And why wouldn't you take advantage of that? You're right. I mean,
Absolutely.
It's an extra year. So thank you. What else should I bring?
So here's what I would say. If your child turns 5 years old by September 1st, there's a QR code that I believe you should have received in the mail. If not, it also is on our website. But you can sign up for time slots for ProFives or kindergarten. Okay, so that's what you would do for students that turn 5 by September 1st. If they turn 4 years old by September 1st, just come with proof of income. And I have heard so many times I've had calls, well, we won't qualify. And then they end up qualifying. So it's a very different situation than it had been in the past as far as qualifications. So I would encourage you to do those things. But other than that, you'll be there for how long for preschool?
Usually it's only about 15 minutes. It's pretty quick.
15 minutes for
Yep.
preschool and right around 45 minutes to an hour for kindergarten, because what will happen is for kindergarten and ProFivers, you'll come in, we'll introduce your child, and we have a team that will take your children along to a screener process where we will screen students on things like fine motor skills, literacy skills, and math and numbers and where they're at with that. And then we'll give them time to socialize with each other to see how they do with that. While that's happening, parents will be in our library to learn more about our school and learn how to register.
Outstanding. That's great wraparound services. I love that. Anything else that we might have missed about Roundup?
The only thing I forgot to say is also during that evening, we will have our book fair. So
good one.
your children and yourself will have the opportunity to come in our library and shop and look around and see what we have to offer for reading.
Okay, so March 11th is Kindergarten Roundup. And from what I'm understanding, that's also for GSRP and ProFives.
Yes.
Right? So come on March 11th. Jake gave you the dates, but if you're not sure the age of your student, if they're going to hit 5 at the right time or not, check our website. Gail Fox does a great job with our app. We have an app, we have the website, we have Facebook, lots of different ways to get a hold of us. Worst case scenario, drop into the office and ask. We'll have some handouts in the office. Is there any other thing that parents need to know to stay connected before or after even Kindergarten Roundup?
Not really, just check our website. If you can't make it that evening and you want to be a part of it, call us or stop in and we'll figure out an appointment to get these things done.
The sooner the better.
Yep.
Yeah, I
And
would agree.
the first round of Roundup is for kindergarten and ProFives anyways, is for in-district students and families. But we'll have other opportunities once School of Choice opens up, and that will be in April.
All right. Good to know as well.
Yep.
Good to know as well. All right. I think that's a wrap, you guys. Really appreciate your time. Teachers, again, thank you for everything you guys do. I think a lot of people look at kindergarten, ProFives, and GSRP as, oh, they're so cute. That would be so fun. That's easy. And it's really not.
They are cute.
It is fun and they are cute.
They are all of that, but they will eat you alive
But
if
it's
you're not
not easy.
prepared. You know, they have no qualms about eating you guys alive if you're not prepared. A lot of people don't understand how important it is to make sure that they are on that on-ramp and they're learning, socializing, and working together so they can be successful as they get to the middle school and high school. So we really appreciate everything you guys do. Well, I think that's a wrap for today. Thank you all for coming today, and good luck at Roundup.
Thank you for
Thank you.
having
Go
us.
Shamrocks.
Thank you for listening to Shamrock Ed, Conversations with Our Superintendent. Be sure to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Samsung, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, or our Berrien Springs Public Schools YouTube channel. For more information on Berrien Springs Public Schools, visit homeoftheshamrocks.org or follow us on Facebook and Instagram. If you have any questions you would like to ask Superintendent Dr. Bruce, please email at contactus@homeoftheshamrocks.org. Thank you for joining us on Shamrock Ed. Together, we are shaping a brighter future for our students. Until next time, keep inspiring and stay connected with the Shamrock community. See you in the next conversation.